ask you the obvious question. I mean, it had to be a shock to hear about Kyle. Like, when did you hear, and what was your first reaction?
I heard when everybody else heard. I think social media. So, obviously getting able to read the story all in one and know that he's okay instead of getting a call like, hey, you had a wreck, you in the hospital, and you're having to worry and, pray that he's all right. Reading the story, I could tell, by reading, I knew he was okay. So I just wanted to come in and holler at him, and see how he's doing. Everything's fine, and took it like a champ.
Seeing him today out on the field, did you expect to see that? And what did that mean to you? What did it mean to the team?
I mean, I knew it would be tough to keep him away from there. I know it's going to be hard to keep him, for him to get his rest. He's not that type of person, so it don't surprise me at all seeing him out there.
And you guys, as vet leaders, always are trying to step up and handle that role. But with Kyle's situation, is there a little bit more urgency just in this moment to do anything?
Nah, we got a lot of vets, man. He really can be on autopilot. We got that locker room. Yeah.
You've been with Chris Mercer for a long time. What is it like to see him kind of take over the role? I know it's probably second nature to him.
Yeah, it sounds like it's second nature. Just watching him address the team. He's always been he's been doing this longer than everybody in that locker room been alive, probably except for me. So it's like a hand in glove fit, man. Me personally, I'm so proud of him just watching him, even just be a head coach for a day or no matter how long it is. Just we go so far back. He's family to me. So just seeing him in that position, I'm just really proud.
Given the wear and tear of last season, obviously you've done this year after year, but was there anything different in your off-season workouts or routines that you did getting ready to come into this season?
I wouldn't say anything different. Just every year I try to be a little bit more intentional on something. This off-season was just really more so focused on remaining explosive, speed training and stuff, just trying to continue to be nimble at the, spry age of 38. So, but for the most part, I kept everything pretty much the same.
You went down for a second in practice. Everything okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got tripped.
Don't need to get into too many specifics, but Raheem was thinking this, he's going to throw some different things out there. Were there some different things, line formations, things that you saw in the team drills today?
Yeah, I think everything's different. We've been going against the same defense on a team, in a team environment since I've been here. It's always been the 4 down front. So yeah, it's all different. It's all, obviously we're not brand new to it. We played it a lot when Rob was in LA, played it last year in Atlanta. It's actually one of those defenses that a lot of people tend to throw in their repertoire. So, getting work on it early in camp and being able to do it as much as we have, I think it's going to help us in the season.
I got trouble for asking, but the 5-man line is what you're talking about, or different kinds of things of that?
Yeah, like a 5-man front, or, the presentation of a 5-man front and, really dropping one out and, playing those games with the quarterback, with the protection. It's one of those defenses you got to be on top of it.
You're looking forward to one-on-one reps with Bosa again now that he's back to health, and it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. I mean, speaking of Bosa, though, he looks like, nobody in this, I see him every day. I couldn't even tell that he had an injury or he came back from anything. Most people with a knee injury that catastrophic, you come back, you can see something, right? You can see it in the atrophy in the muscle in the legs. You can see something. Bosa looks better than he did before I seen him last year. So, before he got hurt last year. So that's just a commitment to him and how hard he works. And, a guy that's successful with that much, for him, his motor to still run as high as it do, I think it's just a testament to his character.
You had a chance to use the new hydrotherapy area, and how important is that just during the season to have access to? How much will you use it? Will you and Nick use it, et cetera, et cetera?
That's like basically going to be home for the next 6 months. So, yeah, I'm an old man. I'm going to be in that hot tub for sure. And to answer your question, I use it, right before practice. So, it's just to see the ownership continue to put money back into the facility, into the staff, just to make our job easier, to give us more opportunities to be the best players we can. It's just hats off to him. It's not like that all around the league, and we're super blessed, super lucky to have that ownership group.
Trent, I know you've been open about this deal could be your last and maybe life after football. Does that change your urgency as you enter this camp?
I wouldn't say it changed my urgency, but it does change my mind frame a little bit. Like, instead of just coming to work, I actually, I try to soak it in. I just don't know. Obviously, it could be my last 2 years. It probably is the plan. So I'm just really trying to soak in every day, build these relationships, take advantage of it, man, because once that window closes, it generally don't open back up.
Trent, there's five new guys in your room. That's a lot for an offensive line. What do you think of the bonding process, and has that already begun?
Yeah, it's already begun. Started in OTAs. We really got a good group of guys. They work hard. Very, very talented group. They did a really good job of putting the right people in the O-line room. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see Connor in his second year. I'm excited to see him compete. For the left guard spot. I'm excited to see all those new guys. I'm excited. I love the group we have, and I think obviously the job's not done. We got a long way to go, but if this team is going to do anything special, we're going to have to play in a special way.
With speaking Kyle, as long as you've had, being with him as long as you've been, you've seen so many future head coaches come through the offensive coaching staff. What's unique about Clay?
Basically the same thing. Very innovative, just one of those football minds that has the knowledge that it would take a lifetime to learn, and he's been around football his entire life, similar to Cal. Grew up in a coaching household, and I think all of it has rubbed off on him and his brother for that sake. And Clay's an amazing coach. Obviously, whoever gets him as a head coach is going to be blessed. I see a really bright future for Clay, and I'm just happy we got him for as long as we got him for.
That's one, Matt. What's the biggest difference you see in Connor Colby, the guy you played with for 6 starts last year, to the Connor Colby of today?
Just confidence. And as an O-lineman, you can see confidence not in just the personality, it's more in the movements and how you can see his pass sets and how he's coming off the ball. He's just sure of himself. And last year, you can tell that we throw a lot at him. And a lot of the things we know today took us 5-6 years to learn. So anytime you get a guy coming in first year, as much as we want him to be the best he can be, realistically, that information is too much for any one person in 1 year. So I can tell now he is very confident in which direction he's going, and he knows his plays inside now. And now it's allowing him to be the player he knows he can be when the ball is snapped.
I think of Chris breaking down the team today, and was it the Chris you're used to seeing in the line?
Yeah. Like I said, the one thing that Coach Furster does that he just has a knack for, and that's just speaking to people, speaking to a large body of people, whether it be a team, whether it be a clinic, whether it be the O-line room. He knows how to relate. He knows how to get your attention. That's just one of his gifts. And so watching him break down the team, watching him address the team in team meetings, did the ball meeting a little last year. He just, he's one of the people that when he talks, everybody listens, and everybody has a ton of respect for him. And, I think he's a mouth you want to hear. He's a mouth that you want addressing your team if Coach Shanahan can't.
Trent, were you surprised that yesterday was the first you heard about Kyle's accident, even though it happened a couple weeks earlier?
I was surprised a little bit, but seeing how jacked up he was, I don't blame him for not picking up the phone and sending out a mass alert. Hey, I've been in the wreck. I appreciate him thinking about himself first and recovering it before he told everybody.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
I just ate lunch, so hopefully I don't have any spinach in my teeth.
John Lynch said yesterday you were with him, or you guys were together at a firehouse. Is that when you received word of Kyle's injuries, and can you kind of take us through that from your standpoint?
Yeah, I actually found out a few days before that. I think Mandy, Kyle's wife, let me and my wife know about the incident, and of course my first reaction was just trying to make sure everybody was good, everybody was okay. And yeah, I mean, it's scary, right? Any type of car accident, you just never know what the severity of it is. But luckily, everybody seems to be on the up and up and doing well. So just super blessed in that way. And I know Kyle is just, I'm sure, itching to be back. And there's no rush where this thing just keeps rolling, business as usual. So yeah, it was unfortunate, but he's good. Everybody's good. So we roll.
Up a little bit on the practice field there in between some drills. What was that like? And just he's got the sunglasses.
That's right. Yeah, I told him he had a great disguise with the sunglasses on. But no, he looks good. It's good to see him out there, and seems to be in great spirits. So it was good to see him.
Were you surprised that he was out there on the first day of training camp after?
No, I know he can't stay away. You know, I know he's given up his duties for a little bit, but you know he's that guy's obsessed with ball. So I'm sure of course he's going to be around.
Fred, over the years of getting to know Chris Foerster, what have been your impressions of him, and then how does he kind of handle, a few added extra responsibilities right now?
Yeah, he's been awesome, man. All my time being here, Chris has been outstanding as our offensive line coach, but also just as one of the leaders of the team. You know, I know Kyle's asked him to speak in front of the team before, and he's not shy in doing so. He has plenty to say and has great command of the room. So, it's super easy to just have him up there in front of us leading the troops while Kyle's gone, and he's just an awesome cat, so we all love him.
What's your first impressions of Raheem and what he's bringing to you guys this year?
Yeah, I love Raheem, man. I love everything that he's bringing thus far. I know you'll probably be out there watching us and see some different looks and sort of those things and maybe some similarities too, but the thing that will always remain true is just the style of play, right? That's always got to come first and show through in the biggest way, and I think that comes from guys like myself, Dre, all the leaders of our defense really leading the way in that aspect. So, we're not happy with anything that we've done or accomplished. It's always about seeing where we could get better every single day, and so that obviously that starts today.
Saying that definitely a lot of different things he's seen on defense. With a lot of things just thrown out today, or do you think it's going to be pretty different defense?
I guess time will tell, right? We've definitely installed some new things, some new looks. Obviously, for the past 8 years or however long Trent's been here, for sure, it's been very similar system, similar looks with the 4 down front, and now we're having some of that 5 down looks, different coverages and things of that sort. And so it's new for all of us. We all got to learn on my end, and obviously for them, they can't just be like, oh, I know exactly what they're running. Let's just book it up. So it's just great for competition and for everybody getting better out there during this time.
Like that number 57 next to you had a little bit of bounce. This is your first training camp back with him, first practice back with him. What was that like, and what was he like?
Yeah, I mean, it's just been special from the moment he gave me that phone call telling me that he was coming back. Man, it's been super special, and of course, I think today kind of met every expectation. I just, even days leading up to today, I've been having to tell him like, hey, bro, like, relax, because he's just been amped up, ready to go, and so. It's just great having him back, man. I've always talked about, he's one of the best football players I've ever played with, and just his passion for the game, his mentality, having a guy like that besides you just gives you so much confidence as a player to go out there and rock out. So it's great having him back.
Fred, do you carry a new perspective hitting the field after everything that you dealt with last year?
Yeah, of course. That was the first time I missed extended time, and I think before that even happened, though, I understood this. This is a violent game, and you put your bodies on the line every single day and every single time you step out there. So I understood that, and I even preached that to the guys before getting injured of how important it is to really treat every day like it's your last. And but it is different when you do go through that, right? And then you're actually faced with that reality. And so being back out there today, it did mean a lot, and just to feel, better than I ever have, to be able to, feel the same movements and everything like that was important too. So it's just really just climbing from here.
Have a jog through, characterized as a jog through practice on Tuesday, which is different. Is it your understanding that that's being done to, minimize injuries, a conditioning thing? How would you explain it?
Well, I'm not sure because I haven't experienced it yet. So I'll be able to tell you more once we actually go through it. But I know they're obviously meticulous in everything that they do from a scheduling standpoint. It's our job as players to just go out there and give it your all with whatever you're being asked to do. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Fred Lynch said yesterday that he thinks that the attendance was so great in the off-season camps largely because you were there and you're the leader. Are you cognizant of that, hey, you know what, I got to show up because these guys are looking at me?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's definitely a part of it, but also I understand that, there's a standard of play that I have to meet every single year, and so I have to make sure, first and foremost, that I'm the best player possible for our team, right? So I got to make sure I'm in tip-top shape. I'm if I'm the guy who's going to look at you in the face and tell you need to sprint to the ball every play, I better be the one getting there, beating you to it, right? So it always starts with me putting the work in first, and then secondly, it's like, well, yeah, like if you want to develop a team and the best group of guys possible, obviously it's beneficial to train together in the off season and kind of be able to push each other rather than being apart. But at the end of the day, there's different ways to get from point A to point B. Guys train different places. It's not the end all be all if you're here or not, but we're all here now.
Fred, I'm sure last season didn't go the way Nick Martin wanted it to, but where is he right now from what you've observed and just maybe what he did learn from last year and how he's carrying it over to an opportunity, it seems like, this year for that third linebacker spot?
Yeah, I think Nick's in a great spot, man. I think he's way more confident in his abilities and obviously learning the scheme now, which usually happens for a guy going from as being a rookie into your second year. It's not just about the plays and like the play speed and everything. It's honestly just about familiarity with just the building, like your teammates, coaching staff, your environment. Coming into the NFL, it's a big jump from college. So, I'm sure he wanted to be more involved as a rookie. Sometimes it's not how it goes. This obviously is a new opportunity for him. He's put the work in. He's been here all offseason training his butt off. So, he's put himself in a great position to compete.
Just talking about Bosa and how he looks like he didn't have an injury at all. I don't know if you want to contradict that, but have you been surprised by kind of where he is right now?
No, I'm not surprised. Nick is one of the hardest workers and guys who's more, so in tune with his body. And having gone through that injury before, he obviously knows the steps and things that he has to do and accomplish in order to get back on top and be the guy that he's always been, right? So, yeah, I'm not surprised one bit.
What do you think about Jaden Duggar and Larry Ward?
Say that one more time.
What do you think about the rookies Jaden Duggar and Larry Ward?
Yeah, I think they're great. Rookies, man. I've learned is, I've been in this thing a little while now. I've learned you can't judge a rookie before the pads come on, right? It's not that they haven't played in pads before, but at this level, football is played with pads, and so I'll start making my judgments once the pads come on.
Nick said that his hands have felt better than they ever have during OTAs. Having missed some football yourself, do you feel even more healthy, more rejuvenated? I mean, it sucks to miss football, but you could take care of your body.
Yeah, I guess there are pros to missing an extended amount of time for your body, right? But I'd rather not miss time. I'll say that. But yeah, I mean, I always feel great coming into every year, and then of course this year is the same way. Just a new fire, new motivation, desire. Body feels obviously fresher from not having all those impacts throughout last season. So I guess there is some benefit to that.
Fred, with Kyle out, do you and the other leaders on the team feel like you need to do anything extra or have other conversations that you might not normally have from a leadership perspective, given that there's a void there with your head coach not being out there?
Not so far. No, I don't think there hasn't been any extra needed conversations amongst us. I think it's just kind of understood at this point, right? We understand what the task at hand. I told the group out there before we got started after the stretch, like, it's business as usual. Like, we got to get after each other. We got to compete. We got to get better. We're our own competition at this point. So it's about just every day trying to get better than we were the day before.
Fred, do you need that first tackle in, training camp or preseason just to get that confidence? Like, all right, I'm back.
No, tackling, that's like riding a bike. You just run through their face.